It wasn't too long ago that DC fans rejoiced at the idea of getting to see 3 Batman in 1 year, with Robert Pattinson's The Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman showing up in The Flash alongside Michael Keaton's, and then of course Michael Keaton's Batman showing up in Batgirl. And just recently, the announced DC studios with James Gunn and Peter Safran heading the newfound studio. Tuesday morning, Warner Bros. Discovery David Zaslav made some very interesting comments about the future of The Batman. Warner Bros. Discovery's 10-year plan for the DCU involves unifying the franchise under one banner, and based on comments from CEO David Zaslav, that may not bode well for multiple versions of the same character currently occupying the same space, which is something that Warner Bros. Did have in place around the Smallville era. It was kind of why Batman never showed up in Smallville, Batman never showed up in Arrow, and that's why the Suicide Squad was killed off in Arrow, because Warner Brothers had plans for the Suicide Squad movie. It made no sense, even though there was 2 Flashes running around. Eventually, Brandon Routh's Superman showed up, Tyler Hoechlin's Superman showed up, you had Henry Cavill in there, and like I said before, we were going to have 3 Batman. While updating on the progress made by recently appointed DC Studios co-heads James Gunn and Peter Safran, Zaslav revealed that the pair are coming close to the end of finishing a Bible. A Bible is a document roadmap that outlines key characters and plot points for the DCU. David Zaslav said, "I think over the next few years you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. And so part of our strategy is drive the hell out of DC, which James and Peter are going to do. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill you over a period of time." Right now, Robert Pattinson is playing the Dark Knight in Matt Reeves' Batverse, which is separate from the main DCEU. Ben Affleck will return as his take on the Caped Crusader for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and The Flash, while Michael Keaton will also appear as Batman in the latter. Zaslav's comments could be interpreted a couple of different ways, but he certainly seems to be indicating that only one of those actors will be staying on in the role moving forward. We know a sequel to Reeves' highly successful first outing is in the works, so is there a chance Gunn and Safran are planning to fold the Batman movies into the DCU? Seems like the Batman audience and DC audience are a little divided on that notion and that idea of bringing Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU, because they've clearly been in a own separate universe from the start. What this means moving forward is that either A, one of the characters is going to be in the DCU, or B, none of them are, and Matt Reeves and the Batman is going to stay in its own separate universe. But that would mean James Gunn and Peter Safran wouldn't want Batman in the Justice League and in their DCU, which I just don't see that being a reality. They also can't ignore the success of the Batman, which was an independent movie, a standalone movie with just the Batman and no other crossovers, no other connections to any other supernatural characters. It does pose a lot of questions for Robert Pattinson's Batman, but what about Ben Affleck's? We know he was kind of around the end of his run as Batman. He said a few years ago that with The Flash, he was done and that he was super excited, super satisfied with what he had done for The Flash. He said that he felt finally he had gotten the character done right and that they had finally done it right and hope that audiences will feel the same. But then we heard just a few months ago that he was filming new scenes in Aquaman and Lost Kingdom, at least as Bruce Wayne, and we saw Jason Momoa release a photo, so it seemed like maybe the future wasn't over for Ben Affleck's version of Batman. And then, of course, you have Michael Keaton, who is making his amazing return in The Flash. Hopefully it's good. Unfortunately, we won't get to see what he did in Batgirl, but it sounds like maybe Michael Keaton is probably the safest to say that he won't be our Batman moving forward just because of his age. Either way, it is in James Gunn and Peter Safran's hands, and whether or not you are a fan of those two, it is in their hands. So at the end of the day, we will find out soon, hopefully, what that plan is, that 10-year plan in the Bible that they are writing out, and include if those characters and those plot points and those storylines include Batman or not. Because if they don't, then I think that is our answer. Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson will have their own trilogy and their own universe separate from the DCU, and the DCU will just not include Batman. It does seem, however, that David Zaslav is pretty adamant about having a shared universe. But what do you guys think of this? Please let us know in the comments below, as we'd love to hear your insight onto this. Of course, we will go into more of it on Friday, the Speed Force Media podcast, where my wife and I host, where we talk about everything we love in the world of comic book movies and the best news of the week. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed or if you're interested in this information, then please give it a like. My name is Derek. Please subscribe for more content. And until next time, have a great day.